My name is Nancy Kogel, and my group is R.O.A.R, Reaching Out for Animal Rights. And I made a poem especially for this vegan spring fest. I always wondered how we humans got to where we are now, eating dead animals, stealing eggs from chickens and milk from cows. It helped me to read this book, An Unnatural Order, the roots of our destruction and domination of nature and each other. The author is Jim Mason, and I found this book amazing. It uncovers the mysteries of our history before Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Christianity. So open your ears as we travel back through the years. We began in Africa in warm tropical climate. We ate fruits in trees like the other primates. Our body structures were designed for fruits and plants of various kinds. Our bodies are shaped as herbivores, not as animal-eating animals called carnivores. We're similar to most gentle beings living on plants. That's how we thrive and our lives enhance. For millions of years, we thus developed on all kinds of plant foods. We did fill up. Then a change in weather made us come down from the trees. But that didn't change our anatomy. Reaching the forest floor didn't mean we developed a taste for blood and gore. Are you still following me as we continue this history? About 70,000 years ago or so, you see, fear of predators and mixed with curiosity pushed us to wander endlessly. As we explored new and different terrains, we developed bigger brains. With bigger brains, we looked around and were amazed at what we found. Nature, both near and far, sun, moon, and stars, and more. Of all these things, we were in awe. It gave us things about which to ponder, filled our imaginations with awesome wonder. And of all the world's amazing features, we particularly noticed other creatures: gazelle, sheep, pigs, deer, wolves, snakes, fishes, bears, even tigers and lions whom we feared. In awe of nature and her amazing creatures. But all that changed in our hearts and brains when from nature we disconnected. I'll share with you my perspective. After millions and millions of years, maybe 8 or 9, our species reached a critical time. Humans began to wander from Africa, our true home, and yonder. Some of us wandered way far north. In the cold, we froze. We were truly lost. Women happened to be the best foragers, knew the seasons, where and when the fruits matured. Because of this, men thought we women were gods, especially when new life, babies, came from our bods. Men didn't give birth, felt a diminishing sense of self-worth. felt a need to compensate for this lack, to get their sense of self-worth back. Combined with the cold and lack of vegetation, men decided to copy the cats, and without hesitation, became copycats. Though speed, jaws, claws, and digestive tract they lacked. This happened not millions, but only about 40,000 years ago, when the world's ills were birthed and started to grow. These men picked up a stone and gave it a throw, took an arrow and launched it through a bow. Men lurked in the shadow, 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 hunting a cow, a lamb, or a doe, mimicking the lion, the carnivorous pro. Ego's shadow, racism, sexism, starting to grow. All the world's evils waiting in tow. Going out on a hunting spree, men had to disconnect their empathy, did rituals to give and receive pain to and from each other, hardened their hearts again and again, uncle, son, father, brother. This began a time on planet Earth when humans treated animals as if they had no worth. We tortured them when they were alive, exploited them for food, clothing, stole their milk, eggs, fur, and their hides. For this violent sacrifice, we ourselves were denied true inner worth and a sense of pride. The men being gone for days, even weeks, women welcomed them back with kisses on their cheeks. Bringing back a dead body instead of spinach or kale helped men feel even more superior to the relatively weaker female. Hunting for a few thousand years. Then a new form of violence, superiority to animals and women, appeared. From hunting and killing all different kinds of species, men saw their chances of feasting increasing by following one particular kind of herd. Their food source, meat and milk, was ensured. Dominating women, animals, the line became more and more blurred. So from hunting to herding, hurting, hoarding, all very disturbing. Those humans before, who had before settled more south and east, made grains, legumes, and peas their feast, some producing a surplus, too much for one family to eat. But back up north, the herbivorous animals needed fresh grazing lands. The grass got used up, so this made demands to constantly move further south to warmer climes, more sunshine, lusher lands with people with tans. Any humans they encountered who were in the way of water or land for their herd, the same violence used against animal kin they used to get the last word. To this fake hierarchical structure already absurd, they added racism to justify cruelty in response to the rage they incurred. The mindset of being willing to kill and the competition between herders created ill will. On horses, they moved cattle south and across Eurasia, starting with violence to animals. They didn't hesitate to invade you. Raping, stealing, killing became these herders' means to raid you. Some settled down, made a home, called the land their own, built fences so their animals couldn't roam. Animals became a form of exchange. Money, capital, living beings, and now caged. They designed a hoe, then a plow, hitched it to an ox or a cow. Slavery, work, confinement did grow, adding to animals many sorrows. Owning beings who couldn't fight back was the beginning of us humans veering off track. Animals, women, people of color no longer free. Owners of animals invented private property. Capital, wealth, measured per capita or head of a goat, sheep, or cow. Now, the most ruthless were with wealth and power endowed. Domestication, we call domesticration, divided the world into tribes, states, kingdoms, and nations. We humans lived on death like vultures. About 10,000 years ago, the beginnings of animal agriculture. This indeed was an unnatural order. We call it animal agri-torture. By causing suffering to animals, some made a fortune. This was the beginning of the division, of the biggest division, between those who owned others, thought they were the winners, and everyone else, we were their prisoners, trapped by this system of dominionism. Our mission to bring criticism and wisdom to liberate us all from this imprisoning system. Wealth was measured by number of animals owned. They reproduced and were bred, increasing the number grown. Measured by head or cap, milk, eggs, and dead animals' meat they did extract. The owners of this capital wealth never considered the horrors for animals, nor the assault on our health. They never considered the destruction of land, the wars that ensued, and the workers' demands. Never considered the needs of animals, women, people of color, disabled or old, or others abused by this dominionist economy, bought and sold. So how are we going to stop it now? How are we going to turn the clock around? How are we going to end animal cruelties, dominionism, racism, sexism, brutalities? If the ill started with our detachment from nature, each other, and other creatures, we must return to our herbivorous, kind, gentle, compassionate connection with nature. Return to our original, kind, compassionate natures, gentle, herbivorous, peaceful, loving creatures. From hunting, herding, dominion, and neglect, we return to connection, awe, and respect. A better way, the vegan way, we select. How are we going to turn that clock around? Veganism, that's what we found. It's a weapon, a tool, a miraculous cure we found. Respect for the pig, chicken, fish and cow, respect for nature and each other, mother, sister, father, brother, one family. Veganism is a practice, a philosophy, a revolution of social justice in society. Not might, but inner light makes right. Connected to the whole, brings insight and foresight. Back to the garden, a community of beings. With joy and love, the spirit grows wings. Here's to our vegan, peaceful, loving, egalitarian, communally shared world. Our vision is clear as our banners unfurl. Hope you enjoyed this history of our human species. May your activism expand as your understanding increases. Love to you all and to every being on earth, uniquely precious and of infinite worth. Thank you so much.